You see the progress. They also have, oh boy, guys, I'm a mess. And print them out.
I said excuse me.
Oh, you're excused. Hello friends, and welcome back to my channel, Dani Grace Daily. I am Dani, and today I am going to share how our first 4 days of homeschooling went this week. So I'm a bit of a hot mess mom. It was a lot of work. I have a preschooler and a kindergartner, but my preschooler is doing some kindergarten work and my kindergartner is doing some preschool work because they're at different levels. And so I just thought I would show you our curriculum choices for the school year and how we are liking them so far 1 week in. And I will tell you right now that so far they're going great. I'm really happy. My boys have done such a good job this week. I'm just so proud of them. Okay, so if you did not already see, I do have a video before this. It is my homeschool planning video. I got this planner at Target and it has a lot of different sections, but I'm using it to plan out our homeschool year. And I had kind of pre-planned before the week started and I changed some things around throughout the week, but I'm going to use this as a reference as I share with you what we're using. So Troy Boy is going to help me show you what our curriculum choices are for this year, right Troy?
Yeah.
Okay. So we decided to go with Blossom and Root as our main curriculum. It's this one here. I got the teacher guide, what is this called? Spiral Bound. So you download the files after you purchase the curriculum online and then print them out and then I had them bound just to make it a little bit easier. I also laminated the front and back cover. And so we purchased the kindergarten curriculum because Preston, who is in the other room, he is my almost 6-year-old. He is doing kindergarten this year. And Troy Boy, what grade are you in?
Preschool.
Preschool. Troy's in preschool this year. But Troy's a little bit ahead, right Troy? So he's doing a lot of kindergarten work with Preston.
Yeah.
And then Preston still needs to learn his alphabet and letter sounds. So he is doing some preschool work with Troy Boy.
Yeah.
So, okay, so our main curriculum is Blossom and Root. And Blossom and Root is divided into, silly mommy.
Yeah.
Is divided into a nature study, language arts, a space mission, which is their math and science portion, a picture and composer study, which also encompasses geography, and history, which is the history of me with this curriculum. So there's a teacher's guide, and I'm going to show you the different components next. Do you want to go in the playroom while I get everything else out?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Thanks for helping me.
You're welcome.
You're a good helper.
Yeah.
So I'll start with nature study because that's how I decided to start our weeks. So every week for the nature study, there is a nature lore, which is reading from this book. It is called the Burgess Animal Book for Children. It's kind of hard to find, but I got it on Amazon. And this was called the color edition, but to be completely honest, there's really not a lot of color.
Could you get me some more water, please?
Yes, I'll get you some more water.
Thank you.
Can you leave your cup there and I'll grab it?
Yep.
Okay, so they're calling this the color edition. It's got a few illustrations in it. I believe there may have been a couple. Here we go. Okay. Sporadically in this book there are some color illustrations, but not a lot, which is fine. The whole purpose is reading out loud to your child and getting them used to more adult language and also things that have to do with nature, I think. Like I said, this is our first week, so I'll tell you more as we go along. This one is about enjoying Mother Nature's classroom and discovering the mammals of North America. Good book so far. Okay, so there's the nature lore, and then there is the nature study, and then there is the nature notebook. So the nature study this week was exploring our outdoor classroom, and the nature lore was reading that chapter in the book. Okay, so this is the nature notebook. I also printed these and had them bound with the spiral bounding. I think it was like Office Max or just one of the office supply stores. I think there's a lot of places that do it. I just Googled spiral binding, and this is what came up. My husband actually took it into the store for me and got it laminated. So I had 2 copies of these made, one for each of the boys. They are both considered kindergarten level. However, they're pretty simple so far, and even looking ahead, they're really something that a preschooler could also do. It's a lot of drawing and like comprehending that book, which is about animals and nature. So depending on how old and how advanced your preschooler is, I think that you could also make it work for more than 1 grade level. You could probably even go up a level and just add to it for older children. We read the nature lore, which was Jenny Wren gives Peter Rabbit an idea from the Burgess Animal Book for Children. We did the nature study, which was exploring our outdoor classroom. We went outside, we brought chalk out with us, so we actually incorporated another curriculum. I'm using wild math, and we drew in our treehouse numbers 1 through 20, which is part of the wild math curriculum that we're doing. I'm getting ahead of myself though. Nature study was exploring our outdoor classroom, and then the nature notebook was about their outdoor classroom. So I'll show you Preston's first. They had to draw the outdoor classroom that they explored today. So both of my boys are really into the wildcrafts right now and insects, and so they both drew Hercules beetles. I don't know a lot about Hercules beetles, so I have to find out more about them. I don't know that they're in our backyard. I think they're in another country. However, they drew Hercules beetles. So we write what the child says down here after they've drawn it, and I also labeled the different parts of Preston's drawing. This is gonna be so nice to look back on someday. And then Troy also did the same thing. If you follow me on Instagram, you know that Troy is like my little artist, but he doesn't use crayons a lot. So this is like a new medium for him. So he also drew a Hercules beetle. Okay, so that was the nature portion of our first week of homeschool, the nature study, which was the lore, the nature study, and my outdoor classroom. And as you can see, each week they break it down to exactly what you need to do, which is so cool. Every week has its own little column, and every component is broken out so you know exactly what to do. So that was the nature portion. And then for the space mission, we actually just did that today. The first week is just reading a mission from ground control. So this year they're going to go to outer space on a mission. Super cute. Same thing, it's broken down week by week. So let's see. Part 1 is the captain's log, and week 1 is the mission. So I read to them the mission for this week, and what we did was set up a notebook for each of them. So I bought them each a space notebook that we're going to use on our missions, and I printed out the Blossom and Root cover just at like a 50% size, and had them write their name as the captain, and we filled out our very first captain's log, which is very similar to what we do for our morning notebook that I'll show you in a little while, but it's the day of the week, the month of the year, and the numbered day that it is. And then I had them draw a picture down at the bottom of that page of Zula, who is the alien for our mission this year. So each of the boys drew their interpretation of what they believe that Zula will look like. So Troy Boy also did his. So that's all we did for our space mission this week. I believe it's going to get more comprehensive as we go along. I also bought myself a space notebook, and I love clipboards, so I got both of the boys these little clipboards to take on our mission with us. We have a space tent and a bunch of space toys that I actually keep in a bin in the basement to bring out for when we do like that unit or themed play. So I'm going to bring out the spaceship once a week, and we're gonna go on our mission and bring our clipboards into our spaceship and do whatever our lesson is, and then we'll just glue it into our notebook or bring these notebooks with us and write directly in them. So that was the space mission, which is the math and science portion. We did not do the picture and composer study this week, and tomorrow is our history of me. So the history of me is so adorable. my nature and geography notebook. So this is for the history of me and the composer and artist study. I decided to just do the history of me with my son Preston this year to make it something special that we do together, since he's my kindergartner. And in the event that we homeschool Troy next year for kindergarten, I want to be able to do this with Troy next year. I don't think that's what we're going to do. I really want to send the kids back to school. So I put the history notebook into a 3-ring binder. Red is Preston's favorite color, so I put it in here. And we're going to do this tomorrow for Prest, but it's basically just like the history of me. So the first day is, this is me, my name is, how I got my name. And that's week 1. And then there is the language arts portion. So I did print and bind 2 copies of this. It is kindergarten. I'm really excited to start this. But after looking at it a little bit more, it's like too advanced for both the boys. We're not there yet. Because it says that you should know you should be able to identify your letters and know your letter sounds, and we're just not there yet. So we're actually taking that a bit slower, and then we'll start this as soon as we're ready. But I do want to show this to you because it's just so nice. So what it includes is copy work. So each week you will read a story or a chapter of a story. So in this one it's Aesop's Fables. You read the story that they tell you to in the notebook. You do the copy work. You do a journal entry, and you do a narration entry. So it's drawings, interpretation, and I just love that. Like I just love that they will have little drawings and little stories that they've told themselves, and how they like interpret different stories, and that it'll be all together in this notebook. So I can't wait till we get to that portion, but like I said, we're not ready yet. I don't want to take it too fast for them because this is new for all of us. So that as a whole is supposed to be enough for a full curriculum. I don't feel that that's enough for a full curriculum. You might not either, but because of that, I added some other components to make it more robust. So to make it so that we have just more to go off of. So for language arts and handwriting, those are the 2 areas that I really felt like we need a lot more focus on this year, and math. So language arts, handwriting, and math. But for language arts and handwriting, I got the Good and the Beautiful materials. So the Good and the Beautiful, they have a pre-K course book and a kindergarten. I think it's called Primer K and then K. So it goes pre-K, Primer K, K. We're starting with pre-K because, again, the letters and letter sounds are what we are still working on. So at first it really bothered me that I was starting my kindergartner on a pre-K level. But what I've decided is I have this full year to get him caught up, to make sure he really understands like the letter sounds in each letter. Hopefully get caught up before the end of the year, and then start on the K primer workbook next before he even starts 1st grade. So he does get caught up. And also, I read that the Good and the Beautiful materials are generally like a year ahead, so they're all a little bit more advanced. I don't know if you've read that too, but that made me feel better. So that's why we just are going ahead with what's best for our family and my children's levels, where they're at, and I'm loving this. I actually almost like this more than Blossom and Root. Blossom and Root is a little bit more like open and interpretive, where you can like add a lot more of your own, which is good for my kids. But for me, I really like structure, and I like knowing exactly what to do, exactly what to say, and that's what this provides. So it literally tells you, like, read this to your child, have your child do this. I love that. I also love that it's like a visual representation of exactly how much work they're doing and how far they're coming. So lesson 1 was uppercase A, lesson 2 was lowercase a, lesson 3 was uppercase B, and 4 was lowercase b, and so on. And that's exactly what we need right now. And I am just so proud of the boys because they are able to identify their uppercase and lowercase A's and B's already on day 4. This morning I was in bed and Preston ran into the bedroom before I was even up and starting my day. He was so excited. It was like 6:30. I woke up an hour late again today, but that aside, Preston got up, ran to my room. He had this little toy zebra, and he's like, Mommy, look, what is this letter? And the stripes on the zebra made an uppercase A, just like randomly. He identified that, and he was so excited to show it to me, and it was like confirmation that this is working, and that like our first 3 days at that point, 3 days of school were like getting through to him. And it's been a little bit of a struggle, but that was like proof, like, oh my God, this is working. So both of the boys are doing this workbook for language arts. And then we're doing the handwriting. So what I did for the handwriting is I purchased the preschool one and the level K. So I have found that like this is actually like too easy for Troy, but it's good for him to have the practice. It would be way too easy for Preston. This one is perfect for Preston, it's his level, but it does move quicker than we're moving in the pre-K notebook. For example, like the first few pages are uppercase and lowercase A and B, and we've only done a page a day because I set a timer for 15 minutes, give or take, and I let them complete as much as they can. And so far, like Press has completed 1 page a day, which is just some tracing and some coloring each of the days. And we're working on having him stay in the lines. And the thing is, like, we're already at letter C and D, and we're not at those letter sounds yet. So this one does move a little bit further. I think it's going to be okay. It's really just handwriting. We're talking about each letter as we go through it, but just so you know, this does move quickly. Whereas the preschool one, which is called Doodles and Pre-Writing for Littles, this one is very simple, which is nice because Troy's like breezing through this. He's done more than 1 page a day, and he asks to do more each day, which is super cool. But as you can see, it's just like pen control and tracing, and then these little pictures to color in. And here's another page that he did. So this is really cute. So we're working on handwriting with that curriculum. Then as far as math, I just wanted something a little bit more. I don't know exactly how much the ground control mission, space mission in Blossom and Root is going to cover. So I found this curriculum called Wild Math. I printed it, I had it spiral bound, laminated the front and the back. And for each of these back covers, I just took a piece of colored paper, laminated that, and then called it a day. So, okay, so Wild Math, not entirely what I thought it would be. It's not broken up into like daily lessons. It's more just like concepts to follow. So as far as like a full like robust curriculum, I don't think it is. But in terms of like adding it to what we already have and supplementing like the Blossom and Root, it's been good for that so far. So this is the kindergarten version, and so the way they break it down is month 1 is counting, cardinality, and place value. So is month 2. Month 3 is patterns. Month 4 is measurement and data. Month 5 geometry. Month 6 addition. Month 7 subtraction. Month 8 subtraction. And month 9 is review and counting to 100. My big goal for the boys for math this year is to help them count to 100. Okay, and then I'm also going to have a rotating subject each day of the week. So we're going to be doing science on one day, art and craft on another day, Spanish on another day, social studies on another day, and a field trip on the 5th day. So tomorrow we're going to the apple orchard. We may also go to the zoo. We're doubling up because Daddy is off work tomorrow, and I don't go a lot of places with all 3 kids, and it is hard to find a lot to do in this season of coronavirus, but those are 2 open outdoor things that we can do together, and so Daddy will be there to go with us, Josh, my husband. So okay, tomorrow's our field trip. And then as far as science, we did do that this week. Very simple. We played this game, which Troy just got for his birthday. His birthday was on Monday, and he got this gift called Animal Tracks, an exciting game of memory, matching, and learning. The boys love animals, so it was really just a game of matching these animal tracks to the animal himself, and that was our science for this week. I'm going to do a book haul, but I have several books with like little science experiments in them, books about different types of weather and things in the environment and animals and my body, and the boys love science, and honestly they learn about science every single day, like just being out in the world and with all the questions that they ask. So we're just gonna take it a step further and just add to it. We're just gonna read books, play games, ask questions, and I'm not following like a strict curriculum for science for kindergarten, but we're just moving forward with what we have. I got some amazing books, so I can't wait to show you those, especially the science ones. And then for Spanish, we have a kit from TalkBox Mom. I purchased it several years ago. I didn't feel we were ready for it, and I'm glad I waited because I pulled it out this week and it's like perfect. It's awesome. So it's a mom who created these kits with all different foreign languages, and we chose Spanish. I don't know Spanish. I spoke German in high school. The first box, because you purchase these by boxes, so the first box that we got from TalkBox Mom is the snacks and kitchen box. So we did lesson 1, section 1, which was snack time. It comes with these laminated sheets, and then phrases. It's all about like immersion learning, so it's like using these phrases in your everyday conversation. And for us, it was at the table, learning about snacks. Hi baby, do you remember how to say, are you hungry? Come over here. It looks like you're hungry because you're eating. ¿Tienes hambre? Am I saying that right? You guys can tell me. ¿Tienes hambre?
¿Tienes hambre?
That's right. Do you remember how to say,
Hungry.
no tengo hambre?
No tengo hambre.
No tengo hambre.
I'm not hungry.
Tengo poco hambre.
Tengo poco hambre. I'm hungry.
Good job. I don't necessarily know that I'm pronouncing this correctly. I'm learning too, but we do have an Amazon Alexa, and so we ask her as we learn each new phrase. And then the last piece I want to cover are these daily learning notebooks. So I have a preschool notebook and a kindergarten notebook, and they're basically, well, these two are exactly the same. I took some stuff from the kindergarten one that I purchased and some pages from the preschool one, and I put them together to what would best suit my boys. I purchased and downloaded these from a website called Confessions of a Homeschooler, and what it is tracing the day of the week, circling the number, writing the numbers. So I wrote the 6 for Press, but he did the other numbers, and then tracing the number of the week. And I have it for every day. And these are just on page protectors, but it has all the days of the week. And as you can see, he's just getting better already every day. So we do this every morning, and then we go ahead to our 100 days of school page where they fill in a square each day that we do school. Preston's drawing little stars on his. And then I love this. It's the I Can Write My Name page, which you fill in once a month. And so over the course of the year, you see their progress in their handwriting. It goes all the way up to July. So since we started school in September, I wrote the August name for them. And then the last, well, not the last, the next to last part is the calendar, the month calendar. So the boys trace the month at the beginning, and then they trace the number each day, and then we do a weather graph where they fill in the weather for that day, and at the end of the month we are going to analyze it and figure out the most common weather for the month of September. So all of that was included in the preschool daily learning notebook, and the only part that I took out of the kindergarten notebook was these numbers going up to 100. Okay, let's try this part again. So the notebooks, the preschool notebooks have the alphabet and the numbers. I did not include the alphabet in their notebooks, but I did include numbers 1 through 100. So they are tracing each number and writing it in every single day. Okay, it's time for me to go. However, yeah, every day we're writing in a different number so that by the end of the year they will have written numbers 1 through 100 in their notebooks. So that covers our first week of school. Boys, how have you liked school so far?
We loved it.
You love school already?
Yeah, we love school. We never been to school before.
Well, you have been to school. You went to preschool last year, remember?
Yeah.
And how high can you guys count?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14,
15,
15, 16, 17. 20.
Good job.
21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 29,
27.
27, 28,
28, 20.
29,
And then
29,
what comes after 29? 30.
30.
Good job. And guys, what letter is this?
Uppercase A and lowercase a.
Which one's uppercase A?
Uppercase A and lowercase a.
And what does A sound like? That's good. Say bye-bye, everyone. Please like this video and leave a comment down below.
Leave the comment down below.
What do you want them to comment down below? What should they tell us?
Down below. Number to school. About Wildcrafts.
About Wildcrafts?
Yeah, because that's my favorite movie.
Let us know if you watched Wildcrafts in the comments down below.
Yeah.
And please subscribe to my channel if you're not subscribed already, so
Yeah,
that you don't miss out on all of this fun. My camera died. Okay, getting back into it. Can you bring her a toy from the playroom because she's crying? Maybe an animal or something? Turkey. Okay. Okay, let's try this part again.
Tap down below to watch down the Wildcrafts. Tap down below to watch dinosaurs and Wildcrafts with Chris the Pout. This is. Yeah.